Okay, so we are going to learn how to use the TI-Inspire for our uses in calculus. So hopefully you have this function, negative the opposite of x plus 1 times sine of x squared over 2 in your graph. Now, if your graph does not look like this, go ahead and stop the video and adjust your input to make sure that it's accurate. First thing, we are told that the domain is between the interval 0 to 8. So you need to be able to adjust the window settings so that you get a good viewable window. Now, when I said viewable window, you need to see all the maximums, the mins, the zeros. So you go to menu and then you go to window zoom. And then we're going to go to window settings. And we are going to adjust that then, and it's going to go from, we want to go from 0 to 8, so we're going to go from like -1 to 9. Okay, and the y minimum value, let's leave it at that and see what we get. Okay, that's looking pretty good. You know what? I am going to make my y values a little larger so that I can see more of the maximums. So I'll go to menu, window zoom, and I'm going to go to my window settings, and instead of -6, I'm going to go to, let's adjust this. Let's go from -10 then, -10, and we'll go to a +10. Okay, great. I really like that view. So now the next thing we need to be able to do is we need to be able to find the critical points. Now, by critical points, I mean any x-intercepts, maxes, or mins. So you need to be able to select menu and go analyze graph. And I'm going to calculate a 0. So this dotted line, whoa, dotted line, here we go. I'm going to go to the left of a 0 and to the right of a 0. And I see that I get 2.51. Okay, first thing, in AP Calculus, we always have to have every decimal to 3 decimal places. That's just the given rule. And when I see 2.51, I think my calculator might be rounding. So let's go check out our settings. So for settings, we go to menu and we go to settings. I notice I'm set at float 3. Float 3 means that you have 3 digits. That's why we had 2.51. It does not mean we have 3 decimals. So what I want to do is I want to fix it at 3 decimals. You know what? I'm going to fix it at 4 just to have 1 extra and say okay. See, now I've got the decimals I need. Second thing regarding settings, you always need to make sure that you're in radians. And I notice here I am, but I could toggle back and forth. Notice degrees gives you a totally different graph. If you're a physics student, you're going to have to go back and forth between radians and degrees. Now I need to be able to calculate maximums and minimums. So I go to menu, analyze graph, maximum. And again, then I'll go to the left and to the right of a maximum. So that is a maximum value. Okay, and then I could do the same thing for a minimum. Analyze graph, minimum. So I go to I'll do this one. Left, right, and there's a minimum. Okay, so we can identify the maximums. So now I've adjusted the window, calculate critical points. And the last thing I'm going to do is here on this handout. So make sure that you are taking notes here in this handout and giving yourself ideas of what to do. The last thing I want to do is you need to be able to solve an equation graphically. So here I have the function that's typed in, and I want to know when is it equal to 2. So in other words, I could think of it like, when does this function intersect the value 2? So what I do is I go back to the graph, and I'm going to go Control G, or you could go Tab. And for the second function, I'm going to type in the value 2. Whoops, what in the heck did I just do? Somehow I inserted a table. Oh dear. Control Z. I think Control Z even works on this. Yes, it does. Thank goodness. Okay, delete. 2. Enter. There we go. Now I want to find out when the two functions are equivalent. So I'm going to find the intersection points. So I'll go to Analyze Graph, and then I'll go to Intersection. And so I want to find the intersection here, right there. So one of the solutions is the value of x at 2.7235 will be a solution. Now it's set on the given domain from 0 to 8. So I'm going to need to find the next intersection point. So I go to Analyze Graph, Intersection, and I go a little to the left and a little to